Hey, everybody, it's Willny4. And, I've been really excited over the last several weeks as I have expanded my business in collaboration with you guys and now reaping a tremendous rewards from all of your excess food and ammo and meds and chems. Well, I'm here today to take a look at another problem which has been bothering a lot of people. And it's a problem that you can observe right here. This is a very early factory producing Vytinium Fuel Rods here on Decaron 7B. And this is a complicated product to make because we have to make zero wire. These are the blue and white fabricators in front of me here. Then the compound fabricators are making semi-metal wafers and nuclear fuel rods. They then feed into indesite wafers, and finally at the far side, Vytinium fuel rods. I have a bunch of magnet sorters and skimmers also working here, but it doesn't solve the problem that I have. Yes, I'm making a lot of Vytinium fuel rods, and they're very profitable. But here is the problem that I observe, and I'm sure that you have observed too. In the process of trying to regulate your inventory, you find situations like this. We have 195,000 zero wires just sitting there. We have 15,000 nuclear fuel rods. We're not going to have any semi-metal wafers because I'm out of gold. Another problem which I'm going to try and address at some point. Over here we have 15,000 indesite wafers, and we do have a bunch of Vytinium fuel rods, which are very valuable over here, 13,000 of them. But what do we do about this inventory that's stacked up, waiting to be processed? Well, it is a little more complicated than you think, and I have a mod that is going to fix that problem, and a business proposition which I will offer to you. But first, let me give you a little bit of the background of why this is happening. Well, this chart explains what's happening. The speed numbers are inverse. That is, the lower the number, the faster the processor. So zero wire is 8 times faster than indesite wafers and Vytinium fuel rods. And you can see that it is twice as fast as semi-metal wafers and 4 times as fast as nuclear fuel rods. So it's inevitable that these outputs are not going to match up with the inputs for the next machine. So you can understand the problem that we are faced with. If we want to sell off materials, how do we make sure that we're not selling off the materials that are going to be necessary for the next processor? Well, I've come up with a system in which I will calibrate the sales of these intermediate products and, of course, not at all slow down the sale of the Vytinium fuel rods. So here is a system that I've set up. I will buy them, and my buyer for zero wire will operate at half the speed of your zero wire fabricators. The same with nuclear fuel rods, half the speed. For semi-metal wafers, it's a quarter of the speed because you use a lot of semi-metal wafers to make nuclear fuel rods and indesite wafers. Indesite wafers is about twice as slow, so to speak. Vytinium fuel rods, lightning fast, because I want to buy all of your output and you want to sell them to me. So here's how my calibrated system will work. We open up the build menu, go down to the bottom, Will's NY4's goods buyer, and you'll see storage we'll get to a second, but now timed. And there are 2 machines which I can make for you. Let's look at the timed machine first. Over here, remember, we have indesite wafers. We just go to my machine, go down to indesite wafers, and in this case, I will buy 7 indesite wafers and give you an aster with a value of 5,000 credits. go over and create an output link to my buyer, and we'll start to see Astras. Now remember, this is half the speed that the machines are making them. Granted, there's a lot of machines here, but just we're taking one for an example. So let's just wait for a second. We should start to see some Astras. On the other hand, if we go down to our zero wires, do the same thing. Put down a timed buyer terminal and go over. Of course, zero wires down at the bottom of the menu. All 30 of the products are here, of course. And this one would take 49 zero wires, but I'm only going to give you an Astra Lite. That's 2,500 credits for that one. Output link. Connected. And again, give us a little time. Here's our first Astra Lite. Okay, you can see the Astra Lites are coming in. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to put my buyers at your other terminals. We'll come back in a minute and take a look at it. So as you can see, yeah, we got 25 Astra Lites. We're starting to sell off some zero wire. I went ahead and put up buyers. Here's the nuclear fuel rods with there's 4 of those that are coming in. Let's go back and look at the indesite wafers. We didn't have any before. Now we have a few. They work very slowly. And then finally, for the end game, the Vytinium Fuel Rods, 96 Astras. It really works quickly, and that's by design. So as effective as this system will be, it's most useful if you are just starting out, or if you have a small operation with just a couple fabricators and you want to take off some of the excess, but you don't want to interfere with your production line. My time system is perfect, and it is very elegant, let's say. But if you're stuck like I am here with a ridiculous factory with so many fabricators and so much happening, you just can't calibrate anything like this. So again, here we are with, I still have over 14,000 indesite wafers. We only got a few, now 6 Astras being generated. But I came up with another system. Over here, I have already set it up. In my menu, you saw that there were 2. There was a timed and one called fast. This is fast. And fast has the same menu, offers the same options, the same prices as my timed system. I have set this one up for indesite wafers. I have connected it to my storage briefcase. Now I'm going to connect it, excuse me, Sam, get in the way of business here. Create an output link. My companions are in the way here. So now it is connected to my mobile terminal, which is the buyer, and you can see the Astras, and you can see the speed that I am buying them. So if I go over and sleep for, even like 6 hours, let's do that and see what happens. Okay, well, we've had a nice nap. By the way, these guys you see standing here are mod authors, Ezra Mazzato, who I interviewed when I did this a video on this factory last year. They're still hanging around, hoping to get paid, I guess. Well, I don't know. So let's go and see how my buyers did. Remember, with zero wire, we had over 100,000 of those. Now we're down to 52,000, so about half of them. And that's been converted into, sorry, there we go, 2,915 astrolites. That's pretty good. Over here, that's about half of the nuclear fuel rods, if I remember correctly. And we have 721 Astras. So that's working slower, which is the way it's supposed to work. Over here, I have a feeling that we've burned up all the andesite wafers. 2,100 Astras. My fast buyer has left my time buyer in the dust. But, you know, that's exactly the way it's supposed to work. And finally, essentially, the fast speed has me with 4,500 Astras there. So if I collect all these together, I'm going to need some assistance from my staff here before I get to the bank, because that's quite a few Astras. Now, I think it should go without saying that you would not put your fast buyer in the middle of a production line if you really ever wanted to have Vytinium fuel rods at the end. It only works when you have a special situation like this, where we've had a tremendous collection of intermediary products. And here's the price list, by the way. It shows you in Astra and Astrolites how many of those individual finished goods you have to bundle together in order to get an Astra or an Astrolite. These prices are much better than any place, by the way, including the Trade Authority. So I encourage you to go with this price list. It will be listed below, and I'll have a picture of it and so on. Of course, you'll be able to see it if you download the mod and look at the menu. One other thing I wanted to tell you about is, you see these stainless steel containers, and it's a junior version of it is with my buyer here. They were originally part of a mod called Dune Spice, not a Dune mod, by Icewolf 999. Many of you may have heard of it. Unfortunately, he withdrew that mod, and these containers were no longer available. Well, I decided to bring them back, a couple of them anyway. And you get them by going into the build menu, but stay in storage. Don't go down to my tab or over to my tab. And you see Willny4 Spice Small. That will bring you the small one, and large will bring you the large one. And I have them here. He had two other versions of this. There's this one right here, which he called medium. I didn't do that one. And he also had a version of the large one you see over in the distance there that has a lot of pipes and tools and things on it. I didn't bother to use that one either. The capacities, I think, are 50,000 for the small one and 100,000 for the large, so you shouldn't run out of space. That's it with the presentation today, guys. If you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe to my videos. My next project is going to be to take the same principle of the buyer and apply it to your raw materials. You may have noticed before I have, I think, something like 100,000 andesites and 50,000 of cesium. You know, that shouldn't be. And so I'm going to find a way that I can have a way to take that excess inventory and turn it into Astras for you. Again, please give me a thumbs up. I'm going to repeat again, please subscribe. Leave your comments or any questions or modifications that you want in this system, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you. Bye-bye.